Okay, there you can find demo session 1 and 2. Okay, Spring Boot and Microservice 1 and 2. These are just demo sessions only. Okay, so today we are going to start the actual classes. Okay, and if you have any queries, any issues, you can send an email to me, and of course contact with the admin also. So this is my email ID in case of any issue you faced here. Okay, so I'll even inform to admin department so that they will solve your issues. Okay, so let's start today's session. Okay, consider today as a session 1. Yeah, sure, at last I'll share admin number also. Okay, okay, so the first thing we are going to see chapter 1, that is actually Spring Core. Okay, in the demo also I mentioned, if you want to write any type of application in Spring or Spring Boot, you want to write a web application, you want to write any web service application, any type of application that you want to write here, we have to learn some rules and guidelines. Okay, those are all rules and guidelines are given by Spring Core. Okay, so in that we are going to start the first theoretical concept, that is actually called DI. Okay, and for this the programming concept is IOC, that is also called Spring IOC or Spring Container. So in the interviews they are mostly going to ask what is a DI and what is IOC. This is a general question that they may ask in interviews also here. Okay, so here let us start this one here. DI stands for dependency injection. Okay, so versus IOC means inversion of control. This is also called as Spring Container or Spring IOC. Okay, so DI is a theory, IOC is actually, that is actually programming. Okay, or we can also call it Spring Container. Okay, generally we don't implement the theory. Theory is already implemented. That is only called Spring Container. Okay, let us start first with the dependency injection. First, I'll explain a simple word. One second. Okay, so first I'll start with the dependency injection. What is dependency injection? Okay, so what does it mean actually? Okay, and what answer we should give in interview? Okay, first we'll understand and I'll give definition almost at the last. Okay, so generally if you write any Java class, there will be some instance variables. I am writing a simple Java class, you can just observe. Okay, so I am writing a class product, like this I'm writing. Okay, so we'll be writing variables, instance are static, constructor, methods, blocks, inner classes, like we can write a lot of things inside the class. But here I'm speaking about especially instance variables, not even static. Okay, you will be having some variables created. Let me show some examples. Int product ID, it's an int data type. Okay, some string product code. Okay, you may create a variable by using some collections. For example, there is a list interface. It's a list of string. It's actually product models. Okay, and there is a set of string. It's actually product colors. Like these are some variables which are actually present inside the product class. Okay, there will be even another class or interface. Okay, that is actually here vendor. There is a class available. Okay, so there is an interface even. I'm just writing here. Okay, this actually here GST info, like this we have. There is even a class and an interface available. Okay, so those variables that is actually called has a relation, generally you call. Okay, so there I'm just mentioning a variable I'm just creating by using vendor. It's a VOB. Okay, so it's a GST info. Okay, GOB, like this I created. If you look at, okay, in simple core Java terminology, this is a class and these are all instance variables, correct? Okay, so of course PID is a variable of int type, pcode string type, models list type, colors set type, VOB vendor type. Yes, a class also a data type, remember? Okay, GOB GST info type, like this we have. Okay, now if you want to create the product object, remember, if I want to create the product object, first I need a vendor object. Okay, so that I can give, while creating product object, it needs a vendor object. Okay, GST info subclass interface, we cannot create object, so its subclass object also required. Okay, so its subclass object is required. Any subclass, that object also required. To create the product class object, okay, if we create object, it's not sufficient. We have to give all these values. That can be object type or primitive type or a collection type, all these values. So that means product is depending on this value. Product object creation is depending on these variables. Okay, in core Java we actually call all this as variables, instance variables, but now these are actually called as dependencies. Okay, the simple definition, the variables present in the class, instance variables present in the class, is actually called dependencies. Standard definition you want me to say, it's actually called Spring Bean. Yesterday I said, right? Okay, a class that follows Spring rules. Okay, so Spring Bean contains, okay, all the dependent variables. Actually, what are the variables present? That's actually called dependencies. Okay, so the first one, to learn dependency injection, I'm just separating them and teaching. Okay, observe. First, dependency, what does it mean here? Okay, a variable exists inside a class. Okay, so here instead of calling variable, you can call instance variable, not an issue. I'll show static variables later. Instead of calling a class, you can also call it Spring Bean. Don't worry, just I'm giving some part of definitions also here. Simply remember. Okay, now look at, in a product class, how many dependencies are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Total, how many dependencies are here? You can give answer using chat box when I ask question. How many dependencies are here? 6. Okay, these 6 again categorized into multiple types. Variable only, yes. A variable present in the class is actually dependent. Okay, product is depending on PID. Product is depending on P code. Product is depending on models. Product is depending on colors. Product is depending on VOB, GOB, like this. Okay, so these dependencies, okay, so whatever you see, dependency types based on the data type. See, this is int, okay, byte short, int long, float, double, boolean character, and also string. They actually called as primitives. Primitive type dependencies. List set map properties, they actually called collections. Okay, a variable, so if you see, this is created using any class or interface. A class used as a data type and variable created, these are called reference types. Okay, so the first point, remember, what is DI stands for dependency injection. To learn that, first we started dependency. A variable exists inside the class. Okay, and if you look at types of dependencies. It's actually three types. One is actually called primitive. Second one is actually called collection. Third one is actually called reference. Okay, so primitive type dependency, PTD. Okay, this is one of the most last interview questions, so observe very carefully. Okay, second one, collection type dependency. Third one, reference type dependency. This is CTD and RTD. Okay, so here, what does mean by primitive type dependency? You create a variable inside the class by using one of the primitive type, byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, char, plus string also. So total how many? Total how many here? Yes. I just used to write 8 plus 1, of course 9 only. Okay. The plus 1 means actually string. Though string is a class, even though string is a class, okay, that is specially considered as a primitive type in Spring. Okay, not core Java, in Spring. Core Java, it's a class only. Okay, here they classified because that holds a single value and string can be created without using new keyword. We can write string s equal to direct value. Okay, so that's why it is considered as a primitive type here. Okay, now the simple meaning, if a variable is created using one of above data type, then it is called as PTD, primitive type dependency. Okay, now tell me, how many types of dependencies are there? What are they? Okay, so here we have three types: primitive type, okay, collection type, reference type. Okay, so here, what is meaning of dependency? Okay, so dependency means actually variable. Remember, okay, it's a variable simply inside the class or inside the inside the Spring Bean. Okay, let us come to collection type. Okay, there are four types considered mainly, and the two interfaces, not the class. Okay, they actually list, set, map, and properties. Where properties is a class, remaining all are interfaces. List, set, map, these three are interfaces, where properties is a class. Okay, if a variable is created using, again same, if a variable, see, dependency means variable created using, okay, so one of below data types here, below types. Okay, list, set, properties. Okay, then it is called as CTD, collection type dependency. Okay, collection variable. Okay, so here list, set, map, and properties. And remember, all these actually are predefined in a package java.util. The package name is java.util. Okay, so at the time of using them, you have to import this package actually, java.util package. Now, third one, the one of the mostly used concept in real time, and that is only considered as a mainly dependency category type. Okay, if someone say dependency means that they will feel default reference type only, the most important. If a variable is created by using a class type or a interface type, a variable, you see, all these are variables. If it is created with a class type or interface type, that is actually called reference type. Okay, a class or interface is used as a data type. Okay, so here, and variable is created, then it is called as RTD, reference type dependency. Okay, so here, yeah, of course, class, subclass, even class, that can be even abstract class also, final class also. It should be a class variable. Okay, vendor is a class, so vendor used as a data type and variable is created. Okay, interface. Okay, you may ask, sir, how we created actually this variable? Yes, interface reference can be created. Object you want, you need subclass. Okay, now let me show, okay, one by one here. Okay, you can see int and string. Int and string. Now tell me, these three categories you have seen, right? Primitive type, collection type, reference type. PTD, RTD, CTD you have seen, right? Tell me, int and string. See, PID and P code comes under what category? So everyone give answer in the chat box. Okay, it's a primitive type dependency. Exactly. Don't sit silent, always be interactive. You have to learn subject. Okay, while session is going, it's a type of repetition. Okay, one session is completed, okay, I'll be sharing the notes, read that notes, okay, while sleeping and before attending in the session, just 2 minutes if you revise, okay, that will be really good. Okay, God has given the greatest gift to us, it's nothing but our brain. Okay, it has two possibilities. If you want to remember anything, you can, and if you want to forget that easily, okay, that is actually called manufacturing defect. Okay, you can use however you want. Okay, really, some people says, no, I can't remember everything. No, that's wrong. That's your interest, purely on your interest. If you want to remember that, definitely you can remember. What to do with that? Just it's a waste. If you feel like that, yes, that you can do. Okay, that's purely with your interest. Okay, the thing can be molded how you want. Okay, so your body listens to your brain. Okay, your soul should listen, okay, to your brain. Okay, so brain should control everything. Okay, then automatically will be set. Okay, you should control your brain, so that then you will get everything. Okay, so here, list and set. Okay, that means models and colors comes under what category? Good, it's a collection type dependency. Okay, these two comes under what category? Reference type dependency, RTD. Okay, okay, now we have seen dependency. Simply remember, it's a variable. Okay, dependency means variable. Okay, now but the concept is dependency injection. Okay, now what is meaning of injecting? Injecting means giving, providing a value. When after creating object, first see, when you write the class, it won't allocate the memory. When you create the object, If you write product P is equal to new product, one object is created with all default values. If it is a int 0, okay, or double 0.0 boolean false like that, it will create some object. Once an object is created, okay, I have to say, container, you created object, very good. Please provide the data to variables, to dependencies. Okay, please provide the data. Okay, such providing data is nothing but injection. Okay, so this injection, again, it's actually two types. Injection, providing data to variables after object creation. Okay, once object is created or while object creation, whatever you see here, okay, object presence is required. Okay, memory is required here, or while creating the object. That depends on the type you choose. Okay, injection here, providing data to variable, simple point. And this injection is actually four types. Dependencies three types, injections four type, but in real time mostly used are two. Mostly used are actually two here. Okay, please join to WhatsApp group for all the class updates, payments, notes, everything. Everyone, please join to the WhatsApp group. Join everyone to that group. Actually, that link is provided. Okay. Okay. So these are actually four types of injections, but real time mostly used are two. Okay. What are they? The first one, setter injection or setter dependency injection, whatever you call here. Okay, short format, setter injection. Second one, constructor injection. CI. Third one, lookup method injection, or we can also call simply method injection, LMI or EMI. Fourth one, interface injection, II. These are the four types: setter injection, constructor injection, lookup method injection, interface injection. Lookup method injection is a special category, okay, that we see later. Okay, interface injection, okay, only theoretical concept is available for that. Interface injection also handled by using a setter or constructor injection by using the concept called auto wire in Spring. Okay, so they though they gave interface injection, there is no direct concept like that in Spring. Okay, so this actually theory, this is implemented by Spring in a different way. Okay, first let me go point by point. Injection means providing the data. Okay, consider there is a class A. Just example, there is a variable int id. Now this is a primitive type dependency. Okay, my point, create object to A class and provide the data some value to id. Okay, some value to id. So what we can do, there we can create a set method, set id. We can write some set method. Okay, there you can write something like int id. Okay, there you can write something like this dot id is equals to id, some core Java code only, like this. Okay, so now look at carefully. I'm writing a simple Java code. A OA is equals to new A. Actually, we will not write the code to create the object. In Spring, it will only create, but just temporarily I'm showing for your understanding. This is object creation. And OA dot set ID, I'm just passing 10. Okay, if you look at by using set method, of id, the value is provided. The value is provided. Okay, so creating the object generally using a default constructor, providing the data by using set method. Providing the data by using set method is actually called as setter injection. Okay, a simple definition. Okay, provide or inject, give whatever, okay, value to dependency using setter method, not getter, setter method. Getter is to read. okay, or set method, whatever you call here. Simply, instead of calling set or set method. Okay. So in this case, remember the point. In general, okay, of course, there is a possibility. Okay. The recommended standard of setter injection, object is created using default constructor and data is provided using set method. A small point I'm saying, okay, in the demo also I mentioned, we don't create the object. Actually, this theory is actually followed by Spring Container. Here I have to write the point like that. Container will create the object. Listen, container will create the object using default constructor. Container will provide the data by using set method. That is actually standard definition of setter injection. Not me or you. Spring Container is there. Okay. Dependency injection theory followed by Spring Container. Actually, Spring Container is actually implemented. Oops, actually, are we implementing? No. Java implemented oops. Okay, don't think that we have to implement oops. There is a concept called encapsulation. In the Java, there is a class. There is a concept called inheritance. In the Java, there is a keyword called extends or implements. There is a concept called polymorphism. There is a, okay, equivalent programming is overloading, overriding. You don't write it. It's already available. Okay, so that you are using here also, don't think that you should create the object, you should provide the data. No, no, no. Spring Container is doing that, already doing that. By following that, you have to write the program. Okay, so that they said, okay, what we are doing, we are following DI. What is D? Dependency. What is I? Injection. Okay, so for this variable, I'm providing this data. Okay, hope you're getting the point. So that means container is doing here. Okay, so everyone join to the WhatsApp group for more updates. Okay, please join everyone to WhatsApp group. Okay, so you got the point, right? Setter injection. A value is provided using set method. Simple definition, simple point. Constructor injection, it is very easy, you will understand. Okay, there is a class A and int ID. This is a constructor, parameterized constructor, not default. This dot ID is equals to ID. Okay, so while creating the object itself, we provide the data. Okay, so while creating the object, providing data by using parameters constructor. Creating object and providing data using parameters constructor. Okay, so if you look at above case, it's actually default constructor. Object created using default constructor method, that is actually set method. Here, direct parameters constructor. Some people will ask, can we combine both setter injection and constructor injection? Actually, yes, but it has no meaning. Okay, what is the meaning of giving the value to a variable 2 times? No, if that is the case, we'll be having different concept, something like forms data, dynamic data, data modifying. That's a different one. Okay, now lookup method injection and interface injection, I'm not giving any definitions as of now. Okay, if I give, you'll not understand. Okay, when the parent is singleton and child is a prototype, okay, if that is the case, we go for lookup method injection. Okay, if I give like that also, you will not get that, but keep it, okay, as a point. Later I'll explain. Interface injection, okay, a direct single object need to be created in an anonymous style and injected to that. That is actually interface injection, but we don't recommend that. We recommend subclass and create the object and provide. Okay, anonymous style is actually single usage concept, no reusable. Okay, those two I'm not giving any definitions. I don't want to confuse you by giving those, because to learn that you need some additional thing. Just remember as a point, it is there. Okay, so now I'm asking some questions. Okay, tell me what is mean by injection? You can give answer in the chat box. Providing value to dependency or providing data to variable. How many types of injections are? What are they? But mostly used to only two. Okay, setter and constructor. Okay. In case of setter injection, okay, which constructor is used? Default constructor, not parameterized. Recommended. Of course, you can combine parameterized constructor and setter injection, but that is a wrong scenario. Okay. Now, look at the point. Dependency injection. Now we are creating some combinations. Okay. Balraju, I'll come to your questions. Just wait for a few minutes. Okay. Now dependencies, primitive type dependency. A variable created using byte, short, int, long, float, double boolean, char like that. Collection type dependency, list, set, map, properties. Reference type dependency, class or interface, a variable created using a class or interface. Injections, we have 4, but I'm taking setter injection, constructor injection. This is 3 and this is 2. 3 into 2, total 6 combinations will come. Okay, what is the combination? Combination 1. Okay, programmer, you can write this combination. Okay, what this combination says, you can use a primitive dependency and a setter injection. This is combination 1. Okay, combination 2, collection with setter, reference with setter, primitive with constructor. Let me write those. Primitive type dependency with setter injection. Collection type dependency with setter injection. And reference type dependency with setter injection. This is a programming combination. If you want to write a program, you have to follow this combination. Hope you're getting my point. Okay, tomorrow I'll write a program. Okay, I'll say this program combination is 1, means primitive type dependency with setter injection. This is primitive variable and we are using set method. Okay, now next program we are going to see here. Okay, same primitive type dependency with constructor injection. Collection type dependency with constructor injection. Reference type dependency with constructor injection. Like this. Okay, so those are the total combinations we are going to see, and we write the programs in that way. Okay. Now, for this, we need a program. If you write a program that will be executed, right? Okay. So already I said, OOPS is a theory implemented by Java or core Java. In the same way, dependency injection is a theory. Then what is the implementation? Do we need to implement? No. You don't implement that. Listen carefully. DI, you don't implement. It's already implemented. That is actually called as Spring Container. General terminology, but actually it should be called as Spring IOC, inversion of control. Okay, still we did not come what is mean by exactly IOC. Okay, inversion of control is a mechanism that creates the object to child to parent and link them in reverse. Okay, but there's a definition, but we'll come to that later. Okay, once we start programming part, I'll show, hey, see, this is IOC. I'll show that. Okay, don't worry. As of now, remember, IOC is programming. Okay, it's a predefined program that takes our inputs, your Spring Bean and Spring configuration file here. Okay, remember, we discussed DI only now, not Spring IOC. Still, we did not discuss this. But remember, this is programming part. This is theoretical part. Okay, that's not actually theory. IOC means programming, and that is also predefined. Let me ask some questions. Question number 1. What is dependency injection? They may ask question like this. Okay, I'll give general answer and definition. Okay, now before going to that, now look at carefully. Class A, class B, depending on class A, class C, depending on class B. It's a simple core Java only. Okay, so hope you see all reference types only. Okay, you look at, I'll give the answer, then you can remember. Okay, so here, if I want to create C object, which object is required here? B object. If I want to create B object, which object is required here? A object. So C is depending on B. B is depending on A. Okay. C, okay, is dependent on B dependency. Listen, C is dependent, dependency, dependent, dependency. Class dependent variable is a dependency. Simple. A is not having any dependencies, it's independent. Okay, so a dependent class needs all its dependencies to be injected while creating the object that is called dependency injection. Sir, what you said, same words only. Okay, what I said, if you want to create one class object, it requires another objects. First you create those objects and give it to this object. Okay, that is actually called dependency injection. What is there? Creating objects and linking. Starting, I said, Spring container, create the object, link the object. Yes, that is only dependency injection. Listen very carefully here. It's a class. Terminology is a bit important. What is dependent? What is dependency? I'll show. First, I'll give hint. Generally, you remember class, okay, current class with a name, dependent. A class contains variables, right? Starting, that is only definition I gave, dependency. Variable means dependency. Dependency means variable. Okay. Now, C is a class. And OB is a variable of B class. So we have to call C dependent, OB dependency. Are you getting the point? This is to show the definition only. Okay, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to give definition. Okay, general word. Okay, this class is actually having OB variable. Okay, OB is actually dependency. C object needs B object. Simple Java word. Okay, C is a dependent, OB is a dependency. B is a yes, dependent. OA is a dependency. A is a yes. Okay, it's not depending on anything, it's a independent. Okay, it's a independent. Okay, it's an independent class. Okay, dependent you can call with having no dependencies. A is depending on no dependency, simply independent. Okay, now listen very carefully. First A object will be created, then B object will be created, Okay. So B object and A object will be linked. This is actually C object will be created. C object and B object will be linked. Okay. So that means if I say like this, okay, B object is injected into C object. A object is injected into B object, injecting, providing. Okay, this is actually called dependency injection. Creating objects, linking them in simple words. Okay, simple definition: creating objects. In which order? C. Actually, C needs B, B needs A. So first we started from A, right? Okay, independent to next level dependence, creating objects from independent to next level dependent classes and link, inject them. In very simple words, you want definition here: create object and link them based on relation. A simple that you can do by using constructor or setter injection. That will come later. Okay, if you link by using set method, it's a setter injection. Okay, don't worry, this theory will be a bit complicated. If you write same thing 2 3 programs, you will get some clarity. Okay, it's not a rocket science, and it's not a easy thing even. Okay, if that is the case, everyone will learn Spring and Spring Boot. Okay, yeah, that is the next point I'm just giving here. If interview, okay, they ask, you can give any answer. Standard definition if you want to give here. Okay, injecting all dependencies to its dependent class. Okay, that is actually standard dependency injection definition. Okay, so finally we are doing same. Okay, standard definition. Okay, some people may not compromise with explanation. There you have to give here. Injecting dependencies means variables values. Okay, to dependent class here. Okay, so here R is creating object from left to right, or parent to child, whatever you call here, independent to next level dependent class, and link them. First you understand before by heading the definition. First you understand. Okay, let me see how much you understood. I'll ask one more question. Okay, first understanding is important. Definition you by heart, no other way. Okay, there is a class service. Okay, repo ROB. There is a class repo. Okay, now I'm asking few things. Definitions I want. Dependent, dependency. This one I want you to identify. Okay, service, dependent or dependency? It's a dependent. Okay, ROB, simple variable, nothing but dependency. Starting word, that is only I gave here. It's a dependency. Okay, so again, repo. Okay, a dependent class having zero dependencies, we can say like that, are simply independent. Okay, dependent with no dependency are independent. First, which object need to be created? Yeah, no problem, you can do mistakes. Okay, which object you create? Yes, repo, independent object, repo, some ROB or R1. Okay, always reverse, simple point here. Okay, independence to dependence. Okay, next, which object we have to create? Exactly, Okay. You remember demo class? Who will create the objects? Demo class I mentioned. Spring, exactly, container or IOC. Okay. And now we have to link them, right? ROB. The default value will be null. Okay, I have to say, hey, no, no, null, don't give null. Please link them. Okay, please link them. Linking is actually called what? Linking those two objects is actually called what? Yes, that's what injection. Dependency, creation, and injecting. This injection can be done in how many ways? 4 ways, but only 2 required as of now. Okay, yeah. What are those 2? Setter injection, constructor injection, anything you use. This is a dependency injection. Simple. Creating the object from independent to dependent, creating the objects and linking them. Now, finally, I'm asking question, who will do all these things? Yes, Spring Container or IOC. You don't do it. Okay, but it is asking, hey, I'll only do it, but you should write some code. I asked, what is that? Okay, you should write a Spring Bean. You write a class, I'll create the object, like 50-50. You write the class, I'll create the object. You mention your variables, I'll provide some data. Okay, you mention the relations, I'll inject them. You do this, I'll do this. You do this, I'll do this, like this here. So the first question, okay, interview question here like this. What is dependency injection? Creating objects and linking them based on the relational order, or else injecting all dependents to its dependent class, you can say. Okay, creating objects from independent next level dependent and link them. Dependency injection. Next question. Okay, how many types of dependencies in Spring and what are they? Dependencies, not injections. Yeah, so they are actually 3 types: primitive type, collection type, reference type. They are 3 types: primitive type, collection type, and reference type. What are they? I gave already above. Okay, you can just see. Again, I'm not giving as a question. Primitive, a variable created using byte short, int long, float, double, boolean, char, and string. There's total 9. Total 9. If a variable is created using this. Collection. Okay. How many collections types are there? This is important, sir. These are all important. And what are list, set, map, and properties, not product. Properties. Nitin, it's a properties. Properties is a class or interface? Properties is a class. Remaining 3 are interfaces. All these are from which package? All these are from which package? Yes, util package, java.util package. Okay, that's actually java.util package. Okay, so next, the most important dependency type is reference type. Remember that. Again, I'm just saying, if a variable is created using a class or interface type, okay, reference type, that is also important. Okay, next question. Okay, what is injection and how many types are there in Spring? Okay, complicated only. Okay, so first I'll show what is injection. Injection, nothing but actually providing data or values to dependencies. Okay. Total 4. Spring supports no 3. Mostly used 2. Okay. Total 4. Okay. Numbers are yes bit complicated. Yeah, this is only I said right. Okay, nothing here. You have to read. Total 4. What are they? Setter injection, data provided using set method, constructor injection, data provided using parameterized constructor. That is parameterized constructor. Lookup method injection supported by Spring. Okay, used for a special category. This is not supported by Spring. Okay, so here for this we use a different concept called auto wiring technique. I'll show that later. Okay, Spring supports 3. What are they? Setter injection, constructor injection, lookup method injection. Mostly used are only 2: setter injection and constructor injection. Okay, so these are the combinations you can see here. Okay, so I'm just giving a small task to you, very simple task. That is, you have to download some softwares and keep ready. Software number 1, JDK 17. Do you have 8 or 11? Yes, you can continue, but I recommend 17. Okay, I'll show some features in the middle. Okay, Java developer, the first important thing, remember, always update. You should be updated. Why? 2 reasons. Tomorrow, if any new project started, updated persons will get a most priority and you will be getting easy techniques to implement a large things. Second thing, you want to go to interview, though you have 10 years of experience. Okay, if someone take interview, you will get failed. You know why? You are ultimate in your project. Working employees, I used to take interviews in my company even. Working employees, they're ultimate in their project, but they failed sometimes to write a Fibonacci series program. Do you believe? Because they don't write any time. Why? What they need? Debug the application, check the bugs, fix the bugs. Okay, understand the project structure, write some better algorithm and done. Okay, if I ask some new features of Stream API like that, okay, they are unable to give answer. They did not use that. What they are actually expert, they are whatever they are doing practice, that is only they are expert. So that's why I want you to cover interview perspective, project perspective. These two you have to learn too. Though you don't want interview perspective, you have to learn. In the future, we don't know when it is going to be. Okay, so it's just information. Please join to WhatsApp group, everyone. Okay, so this is a software you need to download and install. 18 not required, 17 only good. JDK download. Okay, click on 17. Okay, I'm using Windows 64 installer. That you choose what you want. Okay, it's a JDK 17. Okay, it is going to be started. It won't ask any registration and login. If you try to download 8 or 11, it may ask. Okay, yeah, I recommend 17 only. Okay, be up to date. Okay, nothing will happen. Use it. Okay, second software. Yeah, most of the people will ask in interview in Java 8 only. Okay, or 11, max 11 or 8 in interviews. No, next thing, Spring Boot 3 is about to come. Now Spring Boot 2.1.7, 2.7.0, okay, about to come Spring Boot 3. Spring Boot 3 is forcing us to use 17 version. Okay, Spring Boot 3 is going to come in the December or next year, January. So that's why I'm preparing you mentally and even program practically. Be update. If you learn more, nothing will happen, right? Your wish. I recommend 17. You can practice 8 or 11, no problem. That's why I mentioned minimum 8, 11 also fine, 17. Or these are LTS, long-term supported versions. Okay. Next, STS, Spring Tool Suite. Okay. Sir, you want to work with Eclipse also? I have no issue. You want me to show to IntelliJ also? I'll show that. IDE is not a great thing. IDE means shortcuts. Okay, whatever the IDE you feel comfortable, you write it. Don't say, sir, I'll write in Notepad. No, that's not possible. We have to use one IDE, programming tool software. Okay, don't use Visual Studio. STS download. Okay, so you have to click on this one. It's a Spring Toolsuit for Linux, Mac. I'm just using Windows. It's internally Eclipse. Okay, Visual Studio also you can work. C also you can work. Okay, any IDE, your interest. Okay, yeah, 17 supports lower versions also. Okay, Krishna, I'll show once we do with IDE, it is different of handling of 2 versions. In my laptop, I have total 6 versions. Yes, that is possible. Okay, I'll show later how to do that. Both will be downloaded as a jars only. STS IDE, okay, and JDK. First install JDK. Just double click. Yes. Next button, next button. No need to set any home or path, nothing. Just install. Once you install, cross check Java -v. Okay, sorry, Java version. Okay, Java C version. I did not set any path, just now installed in front of you. No path setting, no home setting, nothing required. It's a LTS. Please check it. Long-term support. Only LTS versions you practice. Okay, that will be having all standard features. Okay, next. Yeah, links also I'll share. This is STS download link. I'll share in the notes in the chart also. Yeah, you can install multiple versions also. No issue. Highest version will be taken most priority. Okay. 11 onwards. 11 onwards, no path required to set. Okay. STS, just double click. It will ask you to choose Java TM platform SE binary. Look at carefully. This one, STS, is also a jar file, executable jar file. First install JDK. Okay. Yeah, IntelliJ also you can use. Okay, IntelliJ when you are using STS not required. Okay. So if you want, I'll show IntelliJ also, not a great thing. Any IDE you learn, first what you have to learn, it's shortcuts, nothing else. Okay. IDE makes your work easy, and any IDE, your interest. In your lifetime, you can use single IDE. Okay. No company will force you to use this one only. That's your interest. In my company, some people are working on IntelliJ, some people working on STS, some people working on Eclipse, some people working on Visual Studio. That's your interest. Okay. I'll show multiple in the middle. On Sunday session, I'll show how to work on Visual Studio, how to work on how to work on some different IDs. Your interest. Stick to one. Don't listen multiple people. Some people says, no, this is good, this is not good. Okay. For some people, Royal Enfield will be good. For some people, Activa will be good. It doesn't mean that, okay, this is ultimate, that is waste. Okay. Your comfort is most important. But everyone should learn how to drive. Driving important. Vehicle your wish. Okay. Destination is same. Okay. So here, Spring Toolsuit, before you install, remember most important point. Okay. Double click on the software. Okay, you will see Java TM platform SC binary. Click on this. It will start extracting the software. Initialization file failed. Just 1 second. Let me move to some other folder. I think we have to restart. Yeah, it is coming. We have to restart and install. Okay, let this be, because it has to detect the software. Okay, so the JDK is actually MSI installer. Okay, that is actually installable software, where Eclipse is simply extractable software. Okay, we have to restart. It will detect the path only once restart. Then you just double click, open. Okay, it will start installing. Or wait for some time until it detect the JDK. Yeah, I think now it is detected. Okay, wait some time or better you restart. Okay, the system will take some time. Okay, you see extracted folder like this. Open this, double click on this. You see like the Spring Tool Suite 4. It's a VMware product. No need to install any Eclipse plugin of STS. I'll show how to work on Eclipse in case if you want. We'll do import by using STS website. Okay, that's actually a starter website is there. I'll browse for location D drive. Okay, workspace 7 a.m. Okay, so that is actually I'm just giving 082022. Select the folder, launch. Okay, so first install this one. Go here, choose OS based link, wait for download finish. Once it is done, okay, first you have to install JDK. Make sure you install JDK. Double click on jar file, choose JDK based extract. Okay, it may give some error. If you try to double click, you better restart or wait some time to detect the JDK internal setups and all, which may take 2 to 5 minutes. Mostly it will come, but you better restart. Okay, once it is done, okay, once you double click, it will start extracting to a folder. Open the folder, open extracted folder. Example, go inside this. Okay, double click on that option in the D drive. Okay, this icon you can see Spring Tool Suite 4. Okay, once you start that, it will ask you to choose one workspace. Workspace means actually a folder. I'll pin this one. When you start this, okay, it will ask you to choose workspace, a folder. Please don't use C drive. My sincere suggestion, okay, use some other drives. Okay, I'll be giving lot of programs. Those will be useful for long time. Okay, it's not like just I'll show 1122 programs. Okay, so those are all will be useful in real time. So please create a separate D drive folder. Okay, and just example I'm just giving, click on launch button. Create a new folder that is actually called workspace and choose same. Example, this one. Click on launch button. Yes. Okay, so this actual launch button here, it is actually going to come. So there we are going to do coding part actually here. Okay, so first we start with the Spring programs, some Spring programs, not everything. I want to show some basics. Then we move to Spring Boot. At the time of moving to Spring Boot, I'll show the differences again. Yesterday in the demo, I gave few, but again, while moving to Spring Boot, I'll show, okay, these are programmatical differences. You can come to know. Okay, these are not required. This is already predefined. Okay, you will understand. Okay, these are not required. Happy. Okay, so this is what session 1 you can consider. Okay, so please join to our WhatsApp group so that you can communicate with actually our admin team. Okay, okay. Yeah, coming days 17 is more important. Of course, 11 is the minimum knowledge required nowadays, Santosh. Okay, so no need to set the path for JDK if you're using 17 or 11. If you're using 8, yes, you follow your same standards. Yeah, please join to this link, WhatsApp group. You'll get all the updates there, notes and all, everything you will get it there. Okay. So tomorrow also I'll be taking session. We have session tomorrow also. Monday to Saturday session will be there. Okay. We have session tomorrow at same time. Okay. I'll give some more introduction to some dependency injection, and then we start some programming part. Okay. I will not drag the sessions. Okay. I am a real-time developer. I'll be more interesting on programming rather than theory. Theory I'll give what is required for interview. Program I'll give for interview and also for projects. Okay. Developer means who write the program, not who by heart the definition. Understanding? That is more important for me. Okay. You will definitely come to know. Don't worry. After 10 days, there will be no day I'll complete that without writing a program. For me, highest important thing is programming. I love programming. I love teaching of programming even. Some people you see there, they will teach lot of theory for 4 days, a small program in the end of the day. I don't like that. Okay. Yes, let it be lengthy theory also. It's not a bad thing, but programming is the most important factor. Lot of people will try to escape. Once you come to next level, you learn at least one program in a day. Then you are called a programmer. Okay. Otherwise, you are a content writer. You are not a programmer. Remember that. Okay. So thank you for session. Continuation we see in tomorrow's class. Okay. Tomorrow regular sessions will be started. Same ID will be there. You can continue. Okay. Same ID will be there. You can continue for that. Okay. If you have any questions, you can ask, or else you can leave for the day. Please note down my email ID also. Everyone. Java by Raghu at gmail.com. Okay. Please note down my email ID.